Hi, what's going on, guys? Today I want to talk to you guys about lighting for documentaries, whether to use lights or not to use lights. Let's get into it. In documentary filmmaking, lighting is an important aspect of the production that can affect the mood, the emotion, and the overall look of the finished film. Some documentary filmmakers choose to use no lights at all, just relying on natural light and available light to illuminate their subjects. While other filmmakers choose to use artificial lights. They're bringing lights on set, they're setting things up, and this is to enhance and alter the look of their footage and have more control. So using no lights in a documentary film can have a number of benefits. As I mentioned, you're getting a more natural and spontaneous look, as well as it's more cost effective and lightweight when you're in production. So documentary filmmakers who choose to use no lights rely on natural light sources such as windows or open doors and use small or large bounces or reflectors to better shape the light when doing interviews or scenes. So using no lights can give a documentary film a more natural and spontaneous look as it captures the lighting conditions as they naturally exist, which you can imagine if you're making a film that you want it to be really realistic, you'd want to use natural light. It's going to add to that realism. So it's also cost effective. You're not going to have to purchase lights, rent lights, all that equipment, stands, cables, diffusion, all this rigging. You're not going to need any of that. And when you're traveling, it's just going to be amazing because you're going to be saving so much money on baggage and all that kind of stuff. So it's more cost effective. So what are the cons of using natural light? Basically, you're limiting yourself as a filmmaker in terms of the type of look you can have. It's also unpredictable, right? So you're kind of stuck with this natural look. You don't know what the weather's going to be like. So is the sun going to be coming in and out of the clouds when you're doing an interview? It's going to be inconsistent, but that's just part of accepting the natural look. So using lights on a documentary can give a filmmaker more control over the look and the mood of their footage as they choose the type, the intensity, and the direction of the light. Documentary filmmakers who choose to use light may use a variety of lighting equipment, such as key lights, fill lights, and backlights, diffusion, all sorts of different little pocket lights to shape their look of their film. Another benefit is the obvious one is you have control. Using lights gives a filmmaker more control over their lighting in the shot as they can choose the type, intensity, and direction of the light. It's consistent too. Using lights can provide a more consistent look as the lighting conditions can be more controlled and maintained throughout the production. So like in an interview, if you don't want the light changing because you're using natural light, if you shut all the windows, block out all the windows, you can control that light with a lighting rig and basically keep that consistent look throughout your whole film. So the cons of using lights is using lights can be more expensive. It's pretty obvious. If you have to bring all this equipment with you and purchase all this equipment, it's going to be more expensive. Traveling with it's going to be more expensive, etc. So you're also going to be dealing with, more transportation problems. You're going to have to be loading this in and out of the different locations and, it's going to weigh you guys down. You're going to lose time, which means you're going to lose money. So it's something to think about. So basically, in conclusion here, using no lights and using lights in a documentary film each have their own advantages and disadvantages. Using no lights can give a more natural and spontaneous look, as I've mentioned, but can also be unpredictable and limit the filmmaker's control. Now, using lights can give the filmmaker more control and consistency, and can be more expensive and basically harder to move around when you're traveling. So if you're a filmmaker out there and you're thinking, should I film without lights or should I film with lights? You have to kind of weigh out the different options. What are your goals for your film? What resources do you have? And this will probably help you determine whether you should make your documentary with lights or with no lights. See you guys in the next one.